From Egypt.
I'm originally from Kurdistan.
Originally, I'm from Zimbabwe.
I'm from South Africa.
I come from the Isle of Barra.
I'm Zambian.
I'm from Liberia.
I come from Somalia.
I come from Uganda.
The show, it'll take you on a trip, on a journey through a series of sequences, vignettes, scenes and events, places of origin, challenges, how I arrived here, my intentions of staying, and that will be told through live performance and song and musical composition.
These are important stories to be told, and in a way they're kind of mythical. I think when people come along and hear these stories, they'll be inspired by them, they'll be humbled by them, they'll be amused by them, and they'll be moved by them.
Important social statements that are made within the show about people's circumstances right now. And so what the theatre can do is conveying that message to, many, many people.
They took me right away and brought me here to Glasgow. I didn't know about the whole thing about seeking asylum.
I'm originally from Kurdistan. I used to work as a journalist and human rights activist. Unfortunately, I failed my country because of my life under threat. From 2011, I left my country and I came to Glasgow.
I'd made my way from Zimbabwe into France and into Britain. Using the last pennies that I had, I boarded the bus, got to Liverpool and reported to the Liverpool border agency. They typed up a new letter that stated they were going to give me transport for the next day to go to Glasgow.
I came to London from Ghana in 2002. And then I went to Dungavel Detention Centre and I was released into Glasgow.
I didn't decide to come to Glasgow myself, so it was the Home Office who brought me here.
My father had to sell his farm to get here. We went from Somalia to Ethiopia, and then we took an airplane straight here.
I come from the Isle of Barra in the Outer Hebrides, and I came to Glasgow when I was 6. Before I left Barra, I'd never seen a train, I'd never seen a double-decker bus, and somebody told me that you could travel in Glasgow underground, and that kind of worried me a bit. And then I saw tenements for the first time, and I thought, what big houses people live in. And I couldn't quite get my head around this idea of people living on top of each other. And I had this vision of people going in on ground floor and going through somebody's house.
The weather is quite challenging. Yeah, definitely.
In London was sunny, but here only to find out that it's still snowing.
I didn't know why Glaswegians were walking around with scarves around their necks. I didn't know that it was because they have to protect that weak point where the cold will penetrate through.
In Glasgow, everybody's helpful to stop and tell you where to go and what to do.
If we did Anna and Hilly, call and response, their voices together, and can you start coming in and do echo on your own for a second, so you just get that male sound, then the two female voices come back in, make a 3 together, and then a 4 and 5. Can we just hear what that sounds like? So call, response together, stop, echo on his own, 3 together, 4 and 5. Can we hear that?
I received a letter from Scottish Refugee Council telling me about the whole thing about citizen theatre, and they're welcoming any refugees or asylum seekers. So I said, all right, I give it a shot.
Actually, this building was kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of, you put it this way, it's kind of mystery for me, you know? Actually, the first time I walked through the door, actually, I felt a stranger. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't belong in this place. But what? But you give it a chance, you know? Don't just turn it back and walk out.
I always look at their chart, what's on. And I saw the Citizens Theatre, so I came to investigate what's going on, and I joined.
I joined the Citizens evening classes. We've been doing bits and pieces ever since then. And I was then given the privilege of coming along to work with the refugees and asylum seekers.
When I came in the room first time, I saw the different people, age, nationality, and just we are working together. We can share information, we can laugh, we can discuss. Very nice people, friendly.
It's comforting to come here, because then you leave your worries behind for a few hours.
That was a very pleasant surprise for me to find that everyone was really, really friendly. It made me feel like I want to come again, I want to keep coming.
You have all these people from different backgrounds and different places, and they all have their different stories of their journey to Glasgow.
When people gather in the room on a Tuesday and a Thursday when we have our rehearsals, we try and create a kind of it's kind of an informal environment. People come in and they chat and they kind of share. And we've got people that come from a huge range of countries and continents, meeting up with some people within Glasgow that maybe haven't travelled that much and haven't experienced these other worlds that these other people come from. And I think that creates something really interesting.
Says that's a complete puzzle to me, or it's a puzzle. You open, and then you're strong here, Vulundela and Pikali and Mafuti do the response call. We just have this right booming across the corridor.
Vulundela, hey mom, kapose. Open the gates for me.
As the relationships grow and the bonds form, there's a kind of unification within the cast, and so one person will want to share a story, other people have an empathy. A very natural monologue began to emerge. It gave people permission to want to step up a bit and progress and share something a bit more personal.
people have been starting to share things that I didn't expect, and it's very humbling when you hear people's stories, and it does make you sort of re-examine your own life when you hear what people have gone through.
I didn't know anyone when I came here, and I was like a little bit mad at everything, so I just, I went home and I just closed the door and I left. I lived on my own for 2 years. I just didn't want any support or anybody. The way I wasn't accepted in Egypt. I labeled myself as an imaginary being. Then I met a girl. Her falling in love with me was the last thing on my mind, but she did. I started to come out from my own, cocoon or cave or whatever, and to talk. I've made a few friends, and I start talking, and I just surprised myself that now my personality is still there. I just forgot about it, but it's still there. I haven't lost it. I'm loving this. I love coming to here, and I would love to be more than 2 days in a week.
I think the way we can link this to Heather speaking French is when they're talking, in Arabic, and then Amir goes, so what other language do you speak? To Mo.
What other languages you could speak?
Like Somali, English, Arabic, maybe French.
Oh, c'est très bien, vous parlez français.
I speak French.
Oh, vraiment, vous parlez français?
Oui.
Vous êtes étudiant ici.
Comment tu t'appelles?
Heather.
That's good, that's really good.
It starts there, but then it can move out of it. But if it actually starts to Heather, it feels less like, oh, here's a rap.
So this is the start of the song. From the very first minute that I got to this city as a 12-year-old kid, I loved this life. It was pretty hard to believe that I had it. Do I rap to her?
You can.
Oh, no.
Share it. I just think you should tell the story from here, really quite still, and but directing it to them. And you'll find moments in it where you can actually, you can go down to Adam and you can have like a more intimate conversation with Adam.
For me, when I go places, I like to walk, because walking is part of my life.
You don't get money, you just get a card. And how are you supposed to buy a bus ticket on a card when you go into hospital?
Yeah.
And the UK border agency said you've got to deal with that yourself. We get a Zuri card that's £35 a week. You have to buy food, you have to buy clothing, you have to buy light bulbs, you have to buy batteries for your alarm system. All this, it's mental torture.
I'm really angry at the way some of them have been treated in the past and are to this day. Things like getting thrown out of the flat and finding that the lock has been changed in the flat and they've got nowhere to live.
Every day I'm worried about the home, because when I go back home, I'm afraid to open the door, because in the past few months they changed the lock. Every day I'm scared when I go back and check the key.
Please, I'm here. I'm from Kurdistan. I claim asylum, but they refused me. I'm destitute.
How can you not work?
No, they don't allow me to work. I wish to work.
Glasgow? Where is that? Scotland. As long as I'm not being sent back to Zimbabwe, as long as I'll be safe.
Don't worry, love, we'll look after you.
I told them I'm from Zimbabwe and I'm here to seek asylum. My passport was confiscated and I was immediately issued with a paper that read I was a person in the country illegally and as such was in a process of being detained or could be detained, deported at any time.
Everybody's too scared to voice their opinion. All asylum seekers that I've spoken to are too frightened.
They didn't accept me as a journalist, and they are not ready to save my life. They refused me.
They said, right, here's your letter, we'll see you tomorrow. And I said, see me tomorrow, where am I going in the first place? I said, wherever you came from. I said, come on, I don't have anywhere to go. I've come with my suitcase, I've come with my worldly goods, you've taken my passport, I've used the last money I had on me to come to this destination, so where are you expecting me to go?
The project has helped because we can communicate with people, make friends, and also listen to other people's stories.
Many of the things that the group members have been through is inconceivable in my understanding. The trials and tribulations that they've had to overcome, the challenges, the joys, the tragedies along the way. We do the people the biggest injustice if we did not enable these stories to emerge and to be given respect and airspace within the context of a piece of theatre and music.
People can't treat others like this. So we're not just people after all.
That's your cue, Matt.
Hi. Watch me for the lyric. 1, 2, 3. Just listen to me. You are not alone. Here we stand. Here we stand. This is our nation. This is our land.
I've been in contact with Refugee Council when they just sent me an email, so I just looked and I just found that the project will be very interesting for me. It will be a very great opportunity for me to learn something new. I've been working as a cameraman and editor, a great opportunity for me to use those professional equipment.
I didn't have that much confidence, and now I feel more confidence. All these things, you know, it's very enjoyable, and I have more experience now. I did editing last year, but this year is I learn more.
Part of a trailer, we did some music video, so I just learned again how you can set up the equipment, how you can shoot.
I will go to study editing course.
To be honest, myself, I never learn or go to some schools, but how to shoot music video was great for me, so I just learned quite a lot how you can shoot music video.
From the very first minute that I got to the city as a 12-year-old kid, I loved this life. It was pretty, I always believed that I had the good life I was leading, but then I faced the dark side, metaphorically speaking. So you better sit back, relax, and let me tell you my story. Listen to the words carefully till you eventually get to know me. I left my family, country, and my friends behind. I wish this life was like a movie that I can rewind.
It would be very easy for me now to do on my own how to shoot music video. I can just do what we learn from here we stay.
Big thanks to the Citizen Theatre and Refugee Council give us this opportunity to learn something new and to have a more experience.
I think it's going to be quite scary actually, because suddenly we've got that deadline and we need to get it there and sorted, and yeah, it's going to be I think it's going to be a bit manic, but everyone will enjoy it.
I didn't know by this time we'd be going so far, so it's really okay. It's amazing the way people are doing.
Everybody's here today and you can kind of feel everybody understanding that it's getting close to the performance.
It's sound like you've just got out of bed, Mo.
5 minutes, excellent.
We're still waiting for loads of people to tell. Hello, Heather, good morning. Could you get in here a minute? I really didn't think I'd need to call you today.
I spoke to
I
him
have to
last night.
complete
He
this
said-
journey.
He said he was coming.
We have a show to do. We have to do a run-through at 11:30.
I think this is the first show I've ever done where I'm fairly confident that at least one person's not going to turn up for the show.
Do you think there's any way that we can organise some sort of transport to get her back from Paisley? One of the performers has got an appointment, and you know, how difficult it is to get an appointment, so she doesn't want to lose it. But it's at 4 o'clock, and it's in not even nearby, it's in Paisley. So we obviously want to get her back in to do the very first show tonight. Teddy's been working on this show since July. What we're going to try and do now for the first time is recreate that opening moment in the foyer. I think we've always been thinking that you'd be here and that Anna would be up there. All the audience are coming in and you're in amongst the audience. So it all starts off in the audience. Can we all, the rest of us, can we all kind of split up around the foyer? I shall be Anna from... Oh, hey!
Still alive.
You're about to fulfill the journey and just do it from... You're going to complete that journey, man.
I will. Come on. I'm here, I'm alive. Let's do this show.
We said, oh, we're doing this show in November, and it's November now, and we're here, and we're about to do it, and this is the fun bit. What the first 5 shows?
What is this audience going to make of it? Remember, when they've applauded, you know, you go, put your arm out to the box, arm out to there, you take one more bow, and this time, you exit, right?
I would like to say thank you.
This moment is due to our first performance. I'm very happy. I'm very confident.
This is opening night for Here We Stay tonight. It's very exciting. Audience are starting to arrive. I think they're going to feel joyous. I think they're going to be absolutely delighted with it, and it's all going to hit them just how kind of like big the last few months have been and how big this week is for them. So I think they're going to be on a high.
Well, today is the first day of the show. Everyone's feeling nervous, but you know, if you're nervous, that means you're passionate for it. So we're gonna rock this.
This is it. It's a big moment, and it's just because of the energy in the place up there. We're performing. It's so good. There's such a buzz and an electricity. I think this is going to be tops.
The show is about to start now in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And we can't wait for it.
It is the first show after 3 months, and it is actually happening.
I feel okay now. I feel more excited than nervous, which is good.
It's a bit daunting, you know. First time I've done it, so nerves are kicking in.
I don't know what people make of it. I hope they enjoy it. I hope it's a nice mixed reaction. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Will Teddy make it? Teddy's on the train, heading here. The show's just about to start. Will she make it?
that journey began thousands of years ago, when my ancestors struggled and survived just to produce little old me.
So you can say I labeled myself as an imaginary being. Who I am is not accepted in Egypt.
I hope the audience, when they come to see this, will respect these stories and learn something and realise that their frailties are pretty trivial compared to the bigger picture and the things that other people have to face. And I know it is a very complicated issue, but everybody's a human being who surely has a right to security and safety and food.
In Uganda, we have these traffic lights, but we don't have these alarms.
Oh, you're from Uganda?
Yeah.
I've never been to Uganda. What's Uganda like?
Uganda, compared to this country, have so many differences. And people here, they think Ugandans will live in the bush, but it's not like that.
We really don't know what's happened to people before they arrived here, when they arrived here as well. And then the terrible situation that they've come from.
You know, we are all here with different circumstances. There are those that have found a solution. There are those that have been given their answers.
And for some they've not. And I haven't a clue how we can help to solve this enormous thing that we're all part of.
I know, Trish, oh, I know.
We can't ignore this. People can't treat others like this.
A lot of them hadn't performed before, and as a performer myself, I know how scary that is. I thought they did brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. I was totally inspired.
It's the most moving piece of theatre I've seen in a while.
It's honest, isn't it?
Really, it's honest,
really
raw, and from their hearts. And it's just absolutely beautiful.
I think the response, the audience's response was extraordinary. I mean, I've almost never been in a show where people just wanted to keep on clapping, where Ellie and Neil had to go get them, to bring them back in. And it could have just gone on and on and on and on and on. And that was an amazing feeling. I've said this before, but a lot of what the work of the learning department is invisible to a lot of people because it's out there, it's in the community, it's not necessarily written about, it's not reviewed, it's not on the main stage. So it's really important, I think, in order for the work to continue and in order for the work to be funded and in order for people to see the power and the value of that work, that we are able to raise the visibility of what the learning team are doing.
Fantastic. It's just such a buzz. I'm looking forward to the rest.
Staying up there, it's awesome. So yeah, cool.
I hope I've come across and told my story. That's the only thing I can do, maybe to help others.
I was so happy you were there. I've never been happier to see that orange dress. Honestly.
Dance with me for the journey's long. Dance with me for the journey's long. The journey is long. The journey is long. The journey is long. Oh, the journey is long.
Yo,
it was awesome.
It was
a brilliant tour.
Fantabulous.
No, not fantabulous. A brilliant tour, man.
Fantastic elation. It was good, man.
It was a bomb explosion. It's like one of them. Woo! But we had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Nerves got kicked in, but we got it done. Yes.